I am back with another video. Tonight I don't have my mic, so my video is going to be a little, my sound is probably going to be a little off. Don't mind that. I want to talk to you guys about your triggers. I want to talk to you guys about the things that you are easily triggered by. I don't have my glasses on either, so don't mind me. I'm not going to be in the comments as much tonight simply because I don't have my glasses on to read the things you guys are saying. I may drop in here and there to read some of the stuff you guys are saying. Also, I will be squinting a lot in this video because I don't have my glasses on, y'all. I don't have my glasses on. But I'm just gonna dive straight into the video. As you guys know, majority of the time, I just go straight in. I don't really give you guys like a lot of disclaimers, blah, blah, blah. I just go straight into the video. So in this particular video, I want to talk to you guys about your triggers. And as you can see, the title of the video says, your triggers are your truth. So I'm going to help you learn how to not be so easily triggered by the things that people say, by the things that people do to try to get a reaction out of you. This is something that I feel like is very important and it's not talked about enough. People are not real with you about what triggers are. And this does not apply to everybody. But I feel like for some people, you are easily triggered by certain things because you don't live in your truth. When somebody is able to easily get you riled up, it's because you're not being honest with yourself about something that they're talking about, or it has been said to you numerous times to the point where you haven't addressed it, you haven't healed from it. It has gotten to the point where it's starting to have an impact on your life. Excuse me if my voice is a little shaky. Again, I will not be in the comments. I pray that my moderators are in here at some point. I can see what you guys are saying a little bit. Hi, welcome to the channel. If you guys are new here, but so anyway, this is one thing that I want to talk to you guys about. If you are easily triggered by something that somebody's saying, it's because it has some truth to it. Now, this may not apply to everybody, but for most people, the only reason why we get angry, we get riled up, we get upset, we want to go off on people, is because we are easily triggered by the things that they are saying because they have some truth to them, or they have been said to us numerous times. So here's one way you can stop being so easily triggered by things. Again, if you're leaving nasty comments, if you're leaving negative comments, I'm not reading them. I can't see them. So I don't even have my glasses on to see them. Maybe one of my moderators will be in here and you'll be put out. Anyway, so I had to learn this myself because I started realizing that certain things angered me because they had some truth to them. So anytime somebody would say something to me and I didn't like it, or I felt like it kind of had some truth to it, I would get riled up about it. So once I start living in my truth, once I start being myself, once I start being able to say, you know what, this did happen, or, maybe, I was at a point in my life when XYZ happened, or I did used to be this way. Like, I'm not going to allow other people to get me riled up by bringing up stuff that they assume about me, or bringing up things that they know about me, because people intentionally do those type of things so they can get a reaction out of you. So one way you can stop being so easily triggered by stuff is by living in your truth. Not being so offended by what people say about you, especially people who want to get a reaction out of you. You know that they're saying certain things so they can get a reaction out of you. So why would you give them what they want? I had to start looking at stuff like this. I had to start analyzing these type of situations and asking myself, like, do I want to be somebody who's offended by people who take time out of their day to intentionally try to offend you because they don't live in their truth. And when you're dealing with somebody who's not living in their truth and you're not living in your truth, then you have two people who are consistently trying to get a reaction out of each other. So I had to just live in my truth, regardless of what it was. If somebody says to you, yeah, you grew up in the projects, this is just an example. Yeah, you grew up in the projects, so you probably had like a broken home. If you know that's true, it's okay. It may not be okay to you, but it's okay to admit that yes, I did grow up in a broken home, but you know what? It made me the type of person I am today. It made me a better person. Again, this is just an example of you living in your truth. If somebody says to you, yeah, you used to be broke. If you're somebody who has reached a level of success in your life, but you know that, it hasn't always been that way for you. Like you didn't grow in, you weren't born into a rich family. You kind of had to go through some things. You had to go through some struggles to get to the point where you are now. And somebody says, yeah, you used to be broke. You can't let stuff like that easily trigger you because, okay, yeah, I used to be broke, but where am I now? I think that's why a lot of people that come on the internet and they try to make people feel bad. They try to diminish people's spirit because they don't know how to live in their truth and they haven't reached a point where they're doing the things that they want to do. So anytime you go on people's pages and you see nasty comments and you see negative comments, like you see people, like trying to judge them about what they have on or trying to judge them about blemishes they have in their skin. People, you see it all the time. Like you see people doing it to celebrities all the time. You see people like making nasty comments about, the way they're dressed or the way their hair is. Thank you so much. Hey, you look so beautiful, by the way. Christ said, I will bear before everyone, and before you preach, you will bear too. Hey, what do I do if I have friends that don't support I'm Christian and are rude about what I believe? How and should I set boundaries? I feel like this. I'm going to answer your question. Life gives you lemons. Hey, what do I do if I have friends that don't support? I'm Christian. I'm in my Christian religion and are rude about what I believe. You need to cut them off. Let me tell you something. And I'm going to tell you this from experience. I'm going to tell you this from a place of love. I'm going to tell you this from a very genuine space. And I don't mean you need to cut them off because they're not Christian. I mean, you need to cut them off because nobody should be being disrespectful towards your religion just because they're not that religion. Nobody that calls you a friend should be being disrespectful towards what you believe in. And you have to also understand this. If it's triggering to you, I'm not saying that it's true, but if it's a trigger, if this is something that's really bothering you, then you have to ask yourself, do you need people like this in your life? You don't. Even before you answer it, you don't. I'm not Christian, okay? But I will never disrespect you, especially if I call you my friend, just because we are two different, we have two different belief systems. And that's just the way it is, okay? So back to the triggers. If you are somebody who had a rough childhood, if you're somebody who, again, you weren't born into a rich family, like you have certain things that you're trying to heal from, or let's just say like you had a troubled upbringing. So certain things from your past, people feel like they're able to bring up and bring to your attention to trigger you. You have to live in your truth. Be the type of person who understands that, if I just be myself, if I accept who I am, if I accept who I was, if I accept where I'm going, then no one can trigger me. And I'm not saying that this applies to everybody, because sometimes people can be triggered because they're tired. Like, like you're just tired. You're tired. Thank you. That's really good advice. You're a really great person. Oh, thank you so much. I hope you have a great night too. I'm sorry. Please, please throw that hat away. No, I'm not gonna throw my hat away. I love my hat. You go throw your hat away. Matter of fact, let me get you out of here. We did not meet at a Diddy party. I've never been to a Diddy party. Um, you are more than welcome. The reason why I say cut them off is because somebody who's considered your friend, somebody who loves you, somebody who cherishes your presence, somebody who values I'm saying it all wrong. Someone who values you is not going to be disrespectful towards you just because you guys aren't of the same religion. You get what I'm saying? Like, those are not your friends. Those are people who try to micromanage you and stay in your life so they can convince you and convey you and persuade you. Understand that it's time. It may be time for some separation, and it may be a situation where you may just need to put some distance in between you guys. You may just need to put some distance in between you guys right now, simply because you guys are not on the same page. But you know, you got to get to a point where you stop letting people overstep your boundaries, because if somebody is your friend, then they're not going to overstep your boundaries, especially if you consistently communicate it. That's another thing, you guys. Like, we got to stop trying to form friendships with people who try to trigger us, who intentionally say things to try to hurt our feelings. Like that, I tell my kids this all the time. When it comes to somebody being your friend, all that, like, I don't know, maybe it's a new thing where people just joke, like people negatively joke with each other, or they say things to get each other riled up. But I don't feel like that's a friend. I would never do that to my friend. Like, I would never be negative towards my friend and then say I'm joking, or oh, you know, like they say, they call each other ugly, stupid, dumb, slow, like the B word, or like, you know, like just blatantly being disrespectful towards one another, and intentionally trying to trigger you, intentionally trying to get a response out of you, or saying things that they know are going to hurt your feelings. Like, no, those are not your friends. People in general who do this do not have your best interest. They say things because they know it's going to trigger you. So when you notice this, when you pick up on it, for one, be truthful with yourself. Two, observe the energy, eradicate it out of your life, cut it off. You don't need people around you who are consistently trying to get you in put you in a bad mood. Say things that they know are going to get a reaction out of you. Those are not people who care about you. Those are people who are just like testy people. They go around testing people to get a response because they're not happy with themselves. And once you learn this, once you pick up on this, you will have like maybe you have like maybe five people in your life, because for the most part, like, I'm not going to go into a deep spiritual, I'm not going to give you like a deep spiritual perspective on this channel. I do have another channel where I'm going to be talking about stuff like that. I'm going to be talking about things from a spiritual perspective, but I'm not going to go that deep on this channel. And to the person who told me to throw my hat away, no, I'm not going to throw my hat away. I love my Bass Pro hat. Okay, thank you. So I'm not going to stay on here very long because it's late. But I've learned that you guys a lot of you are in different countries. So I have to come on at different times so I can catch you guys. Because I have a lot of supporters in like India. I've noticed people in here from other places as well. But I just want to let you guys know that all you have to do is be yourself, show up as yourself, living your truth, cut people off who intentionally try to harm you, hurt you, say things to hurt your feelings, try to trigger you. But a lot of times your triggers are definitely your truth. I'm saying this from experience. I'm not saying that this applies to everybody, but for the most part, when you are triggered by something, it's because it has affected you in some type of way. Even if it's not 100% the truth, it has affected you in some type of way. You've heard it before and you didn't like when it was said that time. It was something that happened to you growing up. It was something that maybe somebody, a bully or something, used to say to you. Like, you have to identify. You have to get to the root of why you're being triggered by this. Those are questions you need to be asking yourself. Even if you have to take a moment to sit back. I can't see y'all. Oh, I'm sorry. I ain't got my glasses on. Even if you have to take a moment to sit back and ask yourself, why is this triggering me? Why am I upset by what this person is saying? Why is this so hurtful to me? Why is this making me want to act out? Those are questions that you need to ask yourself. This is going to help you. This is going to help you learn how to control your emotions and not be so easily triggered by ignorant people. Because they come to steal your joy. They come to get a negative response out of you. And sometimes people just say things when they're upset. I think we all have experienced that, or we all have been that person. So sometimes it's not even to steal your joy. It's just we're in a heated moment, and I know this is something that's going to piss you off, so I'm going to say it. But when you're not attached to any type of emotion, when you understand that as long as I know, as long as I know, you know who you are, you can't be offended by these things. Because guess what? When somebody says it, you can be like, you know what? You're right, that did happen. But I'm not that person anymore. You can say that I don't live in that environment anymore. I'm not in that headspace anymore. Whatever the case is, you can just be real with yourself about who you are and who you want to show up as, and the type of people you want around you. And don't be the type of person to fight fire with fire either. Like, play tit for tat. Oh, well, yeah, you was broke growing up. Okay, well, your mama was poor. Oh, yeah, y'all didn't have no car. Well, y'all didn't have no bed. Like, that type of stuff. You don't have to go back and forth with people. You really don't. You don't want to be the type of person that says things just because somebody else is saying it. Like, you then become them. And you don't want to be like anybody else. You want to be better than them. Let that sink in. That's why I got silent. I got silent. You have great energy. Thank you so much. Oh, you're back. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I try. Even like when something's getting me down, I just try to like think about something that's gonna help me like build myself back up, because I know y'all, when I say, I'm not saying that the elder people around you don't have wisdom, they're not wise. I'm not saying that at all. But I have been through a lot of stuff. I want to share something with y'all, but I'm going to share it on another live. I'm not going to share it tonight. I'm going to let you guys get to know me more before I start sharing. Hi, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining. If you feel the need to, go subscribe. If you don't, cool. Not going to say I don't care, because it's greatly appreciated, but I'm not going to try to force anybody anymore. I feel like at one point in time, I was trying to force people to subscribe by saying things like, hey, make sure you guys are subscribing. I feel like you're the apple of God's eyes. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. But I'm not going to try to force anybody to subscribe to my channel if it's something that you don't want to do. Like, I can't make you do anything you don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to be here for a good time, not a long time. I feel like it's something that should come natural, and it should be genuine. Like, if you're somebody who feels like, you know what, this is a good channel for me. I like her vibe. I like the things that she talks about. Because one thing I'm not going to do on here, I'm never going to try to show up as anybody else. My last video, in the beginning of the video, my phone failed. I didn't edit it. I didn't take it out, because I feel like, you know what? I'm human. Things happen. Take me as I am, or have nothing at all. That's it. That's all. But again, back to what I was saying about your triggers. If you just take the time to accept yourself for who you are and be yourself, nobody can offend you with their words. And think before you speak. Think before you speak, think before you act. Like, think before you respond. Think about it and say, ask yourself questions like, how does this make me feel? Like, what part of me does this resonate with? Why am I fiery inside when this person says this? Because you're not living in your truth. You know it. Sometimes, I'm talking to myself, y'all. I'm talking to myself too. Because I have these moments. Like, I'll be like, why is this bothering me so much? And it's because it has some truth to it. But instead of saying it has truth to it, you instantly get triggered. Like, hanging up the phone. I don't hang up on people. I used to have that problem real bad, but now, like, I have nobody in my life that I have to hang up on. Like, so serious. I'm so serious when I say this. I have absolutely nobody in my life that I have to hang up on. I have eliminated everyone out of my life that that will make me reside in that type of energy, because I don't want it in my life. Like, if I have to get off the phone with you, like if I just have to click the end button to get off the phone with you, I don't need you around me. I don't need to be talking to you. I don't need to be communicating with you, because that means that, oh, I love your hat. Thank you, Amber. You know, I can literally imagine, you know. Did I say your name right? Amber. My name's, I go by the name of Bree, you guys, but take a while, I guess, about what that's my middle name. Gotta pretend you lost connection with people who ramble too much sometimes. For sure. Yes, for sure. Like, going somewhere. Yeah, get it out there. You gotta get that energy away. You gotta get that energy away. I think my phone and just beep. Beep, 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 get off the phone. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Again, you guys, I said this before, but if you feel like this is a good channel for you, you know, by all means, subscribe. If you don't resonate with the content, that's fine too. You know, like they say, I forgot what they say, y'all. Crap, hold on, let me think about it. I think it's, oh, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. Boom, got it. And I'm a very authentic person. Like, I'm not going to get on here and, like the young people say, cap to you guys. I'm not going to get on here and tell you guys lies. I'm going to be very honest. I'm going to be very transparent. You guys can ask me questions. I've learned to stay out of the comments as far as the negativity goes, because I don't want to spend too much time focusing on negative people. For the most part, I have got a lot of positive comments, but a lot of times people come in here with their weirdness. But I've learned that those things are like triggers. Like, people try to trigger you. They say things that they want a reaction out of you. Some people, they don't get attention anywhere else, so they have to get it on the internet. Like, they have to tune into somebody's live and get it on the internet, you know. Anywho, let's talk about breaking soul ties. Sometimes we have them with family members from toxic controlling dynamics. Oh, let me pin this right quick. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Thank y'all. Listen, if you guys are ever just watching one of my videos randomly, you guys can even email me. I think my email is on here. You guys can even email me topics that you want me to talk about, because sometimes I honestly don't know what to talk about. Like, I go back and forth with myself, and I'm being very honest with y'all. I'm being very transparent with y'all. Sometimes I've been feeling called to heal my solar plexus chakra. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Listen, if you guys ever want me to talk about something, please send me an email. Go to one of my videos. Drop it in my comments. Oh, let me tell y'all something. Your girl got a birthday coming up, okay? My birthday is Tuesday. I'm going to make sure I go live with you guys. But listen, so Tom said, Let's talk about, I'm sorry, y'all. I got to squint a little bit. I don't have my glasses on. Tom said, let's talk about breaking soul ties. Sometimes we have them with family members from toxic controlling dynamics. Let's go, Leo, period. Okay, so it's so crazy you say that because I recently had to do that. And it took me a long time. Oh my God, I might cry. I might cry. I might cry, I might not cry. But it took me a long time to get to the point where I distanced myself from people who I felt like did not have my best interests and did not understand me and did not respect my boundaries. And it was family. Believe it or not, it was family. It was very close knit type family members. People who, I love your energy, girl. I love your energy. People who you love. People who you care about, people who you cherish, people who you value. Sometimes you guys need some space. And sometimes they just don't need to be in your life, period. And if you are African American, I'm not going to say, let me not say that because I feel like a lot of people experience this, whether they're African American or not. They have families where people are saying to them, well, that's still your family. Y'all, you have to understand something. Sometimes family can be your worst enemy. Sometimes family can be the wicked energy that's in your life. Sometimes family can trigger you. Sometimes family will be the people that's preying on your downfall. Those same people who you vent to, who you talk to, who you share your dreams and hopes and aspirations with, could be the same people praying that it does not ever happen for you. Like, they smile in your face, but behind closed doors, you don't know. And this is the thing. Y'all don't, I feel like, again, I don't know where I heard this at, but I think it was something, it was like a scripture. Again, I'm not religious. Especially if you have an overly controlling mother who's low-key toxic and be complaining, always focusing on the negative. We call those people micromanagers. Those type of people, they want to micromanage your life. Those type of people, they haven't healed from their childhood. They have not healed from their childhood. Let me tell y'all something that I learned about toxic people. Yes, I'm slamming on my desk because this is about to get real. Let me tell y'all something I learned about toxic family members. I appreciate your hat. I say that we are just Americans. Leave the rest of that on the curb. It's just a tool to cause division. No, for real. Seriously. That's why I said, let me not say that. Because at the end of the day, we're still human. Like, we're all just people. Seriously, like, I mean this wholeheartedly. Like, I can't just be like, oh, you know, black people, blah, blah, blah. We all are just human. Like, we all are just here, like, experiencing an experience. So you never know what somebody's going through. You can't just, like, I don't know what you meant by the emoji. That's why I said hat. Like, I thought you was talking about my hat. But we all are just here. And you don't know what somebody else is experiencing, regardless of their race. But as far as AKA you did wrong now. You wrong. But let's talk about it. People, y'all, let me tell y'all, I will never forget this. And this was one way I learned how to deal with my triggers. Like, I'm a crybaby. If something's bothering me, if something's hurting me, I'm going to cry. Like, I'm going to go somewhere and I'm going to cry about it. And I had to learn that it's okay to cry. I had to relearn that, excuse me. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I swear, like, I don't have roaches or anything, but I swear to y'all, it's like I just saw something walking. Oh, Jesus, help me. Look, let me tell you, the spirit world is real. Anyway, I had to learn this. because I was easily triggered by things that people said to me. I was easily triggered by wanting to have a relationship with certain people. And you have to be an outdoor gal to wear that hat. Just go through my shorts, my guy. Just go to my page and no, it wasn't. No, it looked like it had big feet. Like it was like I saw it. I feel like I saw somebody. Let me not get on here and start tripping. Somebody get to report my page, trying to tell me, trying to like tell the people I need to go to a psych ward or something. But you have to be an outdoor gal to wear that hat. I'm good with that. Listen, cause I be outside. Okay, I be outside. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh, never mind. You from the country. I ride horses. Yeah, I'm from the country. I'm sorry, y'all. Like I ride horses. If you guys go through my shorts, then you will see us on horses. Um, hey, ain't nothing like them country girls. But so back to the mom aspect. Silverfish, I get those once in a while and they are creepy. What is a silverfish? I really don't know what that is, you guys. What is a silverfish? Um, but as far as the mom dynamic goes, you guys, let me get back on track. I'm sorry, y'all. As far as the mom dynamic goes, I had to learn this about parents, people in general. Sometimes people are stuck at the age where they haven't healed from. And I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. Like, sometimes when you're dealing with people, have you ever had a situation where, like, say you had a flashback of your childhood, like in the middle of an altercation or something? You have to pay attention to that type of stuff because that is showing you something that you probably need to heal from. What actually happens when you break a soul tie with a family member? Do we just clear their negative from our aura? Just want nothing bad to happen to them? It just depends on how you break it. It just depends on how you break it because depending on the steps you take to break it, I can't believe I'm having this conversation. I knew that eventually y'all was gonna. I just look like this. You probably actually see a side of me. Just Google it. I cannot explain the creepiness of them. Okay, I got you. You probably see my spiritual side. Okay, a side of me that other people aren't able to see. But what happens when you break a soul tie with people? Nothing bad necessarily happens to them unless that's just in their contract. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has absolutely nothing to do with you. But I will say this: when you release your fear, when you release your fear, when you release your I'm trying to think of a good way to say this, y'all. When you release your prayer hands over them. Because keep in mind, like, when you stay attached to people, when you stay connected to people, and if you have like a heavy protection over your life, if you have heavy protection over yourself, everybody who's connected to you is protected. Like, if you have a close relationship with the Most High, you have a close relationship with the universe. Again, I'm not on here to judge people. I'm not on here to tell you how to handle anything. I'm not on here to say, go to Jesus Christ. I'm not on here to say, go to Allah. I'm not on here to say, go to whatever your source is. Whatever you are connected to, the people around you that you care about, that you hold a safe space for, they're going to be protected as well. So when you release that love that you have for them, when you release that attachment that you have to them, when you release that love and attachment that you have for them, who knows what's going to happen? It's just all about what's written already. So it's almost like you can't stop anything. But you have to understand that in order for your life to be peaceful, in order for you to get some peace in your life, regardless of who it is, let me tell you something. I will cut anybody off. I cut you off quicker than Edward Scissorhands. I cut you off quicker than Edward Scissorhands. You have to do what works for you. Everybody's not Christian. Like I would not be the person to tell you to what to do as far as your religious setup goes. I just believe in what I believe in, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I've learned that I think I'm a child of God. Like, like I can't tell you who God is. Like I can't be like, yeah, I saw him standing over there, XYZ. There are many paths to the same destination, back to the Most High. Of course. Yes, bye. Have a nice night. Get off here. Yeah, I'm gonna put you in timeout. Look, I don't be caring on here. You're gonna have to get off of here. That's why I can't wait until I get monetized. That way, you have to pay to be in my chat. If you are somebody who's negative, I'm going to have a Patreon. You're gonna have to pay to leave negative comments in my chat. But again, I have a relationship with God, and I know this because anytime, let me tell y'all something. I'm about to turn into a preacher on here. Anytime put the chat to subscribers only. Okay, true. I'll do that. Anytime something has ever happened in my life, the quickest way for it, like for me to snap out of it, like I talk to God. Whew. Listen, I cannot speak for everybody. I talk to the Most High. Let me say that. I talk to the Most High. I can't speak for everybody. I don't know. I'm not you. You're not me. Some people are Muslim. Some people are Christian. Some people are Hebrew. Some people are like, even people who say, oh, well, certain things are like bad. And I'm like, who are you to tell people like what their religion is? Because keep in mind, like, I feel like it's good and bad in everything. And I'm just being honest. I feel like it's good and bad in everything. Who are you to tell somebody what they should subscribe to when the Bible tells you thou shalt not judge? So why are you judging you up? How are you judging somebody but you claim to be something? So I just stay away from that conversation. Anyway, moving on. But back to toxic parents, back to toxic people, back to the toxicity surrounded by you. I don't know what's going to happen to somebody, honestly, when you cut them off. You're wearing a Bass Pro hat. I'm not. Oh, no, not you. I'm not talking about you. Not you. I'm not talking about you. Not you. I'm just saying in general. I'm just talking about in general, not you. I'm not here to fight you. I got the hoodie on too. I got the hoodie on ripping. I don't know what's going to happen. I honestly don't. All I know is if you feel the need to cut people off, if you feel the need to detach from people, if you feel like you're easily triggered by people, and it could, like I said, sometimes your triggers are your truth. Like it could be somebody who you grew up with, and like you're just triggered by their presence. You're just triggered by, like, you get around them and you get around them and you just think about your past. Like you think about the stuff you grew up, like the stuff that happened to you growing up. And people always say, oh, you need therapy, you need therapy. You guys, let me tell y'all something. Therapy has nothing, unless you undergo like a hypnosis or something to try to like get a better understanding of what happened to you growing up. just because you think about stuff that happened to you growing up does not mean that, I'm not gonna say it doesn't mean you need therapy, because therapy is very like helpful. Therapy is positive, but it's not going to, being in therapy is not going to prevent you from thinking about things. Like, we don't ever quote unquote heal. We just like go through healing. We don't ever completely heal from anything. That's why we have scars. If you really think about it, like, you don't, like, I have scars on me. I broke my wrist, y'all. I still got a scar. Like, it's still certain, you can still kind of see it right there, because I think that forgiveness is a more important. Forgiveness, yes, I believe in God. Forgiveness is a huge thing, and I feel like it's not for them, it's for you. Like, when you forgive people and when you forgive yourself, like, even like I said, even back to the whole trigger situation, being triggered by your truth, when you forgive yourself, when you forgive other people, you aren't easily triggered by stuff, because you have accepted things for what they are. But let me tell y'all something. We have to stop convincing people. Oh, exactly. Ding, ding, ding. Bingo, ding, ding, ding. We have to stop convincing people, because I think when people little something something. I'm a mud girl. I'm a mud girl. I ride horses, but we have been like conditioned to think that we have to, just because we forgive somebody, that we have to stay connected to them. You know how people say, like, well, you have to forgive such and such. Y'all be having me cracking up. That's why I can't never stay on topic. Y'all be having me cracking up in these comments. Listen, just stop telling people they gotta learn how to forgive people. And not you. I'm not talking to you. Watch Burn Billy. I love the name though. That's funny. I'm not talking to you. I'm just speaking in general. I totally agree with what you said about forgiving people, like, as far as for yourself, because you won't be so like in an uproar. But I remember like certain things happening to me growing up, and I felt like I wasn't protected. Like, I felt like I wasn't defended. Like, I wasn't, nobody stood up for me. And so as I got older, like, being around these people, it's like, why am I here? Because I feel like if you're not gonna defend me, you really don't like me. And I'm just being honest. I feel like if you're not gonna defend me, you don't like me. But I can't say that. Some people don't even have the courage and the wherewithal to defend themselves. So it's like, how can somebody who doesn't even defend themselves defend you? This is another thing, y'all. Like, for a long time, I'm just gonna be honest when I say this. I had to heal my parent wound. And some people say they have like a father wound, some people say they have a mother wound. I feel like I had both. Like, I had to heal my parent wound by just understanding that, like, seeing people for who they really are and forgiving people. Diversity in religion is the best part. You can choose whatever you want to practice. Do you agree? I totally agree. Let me pin that. Totally agree. I totally agree with this, because too many people try to convince people and persuade people to come. Like, hey, come over here. This is the best side. Hey, come over here. This is the best side. Hi, thank you for joining the live. Hey, come over here. This is the best side. Hey, if you do this, this is going to work for you. You don't know what's going to work for somebody else. All you can do is what works for you. I shared this on my live earlier. It wasn't related to this topic, but it was related to just overall, like, getting up, going to the gym in the morning, eating better, like you can't tell somebody else what's going to work for them. Well, you can talk about it all day long. You can talk about it all day long. But you have to make sure that when you're saying this stuff, you're sharing that this is what works for you. Like, you're telling your friend, like, girl, or man, I wake up at 5 a.m. You know, that's the best routine for me. Like, be honest or be transparent. Like, let me tell you something. I will never wake up at 5 a.m. I'm just gonna be honest. Maybe 7, maybe 6:30, but 5, no. I don't even go to sleep early enough to get up at 5 a.m. So I'm not going to be the person to tell you to get up at 5. If you got a job that requires you to get up at 5 a.m., kudos to you. I support you. Do your thing, but it won't be me. Now, if that's something that works for you, by all means, do it. If I eat a lot of, I shared this earlier. I was up at 5 this morning. See, cool. Yeah, I like you. 5 a.m. I wish I could get up at 5 a.m., but I just can't do it. Like, if I get up at 5 a.m., I probably snooze the alarm and go back to sleep for another hour. I might get up at 6. Okay, anyway, y'all. But you have to do what works for you. That's all I can tell you. But I will say this, as far as being triggered by stuff, a lot of us can relate that the only time we're triggered, I probably do need some motivation to get up at 5 a.m. I probably do. Maybe if I had some motivation, I probably would get up at 5 a.m. Maybe if I went to bed earlier, I would get up at 5 a.m. So I'm not going to say I wouldn't get up at 5 a.m. Let me not say that. Because I probably would. If I went to bed at 8, I probably would get up at 5. What was I saying? I be all over the place sometimes, y'all. Y'all got to excuse me. I'm getting a little tired, though. That snooze button is the devil. Well, golly, because I sure be using it quite often. I really do. I actually have an alarm at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I hit snooze. And then I get back up at like 6:45. When I get back up at 6:45, it's not because, let me tell y'all, some days I'm super lazy. Like, I'll just let it snooze. All right, so I'm going to get off of here for the night, you guys.